Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our 28th class of this intermediate English course. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, teacher, we hear you.
Okay, thank you, Joanny. Let me answer this.
Good morning, teacher. Good night, teacher. Sorry.
Good,
And
good
today,
evening. Good evening,
good
Joanny.
evening.
Yes, tell me.
Today, maybe don't talk too a little. Don't talk too much because I am sick right now. I have a fever. So if you look at me in silence, if for this, right?
Okay, okay. Today, I will do the majority of the talking because we are going to explain a lot today. We have like two conversations, so pretty easy. I hope you can practice and participate on those practices because it's going to be the only thing that you guys are going to be practicing tonight or talking tonight. So, first things first. This is this class and Thursday night class are the last classes of the intermediate English course. So what that means is that next week we will be working on the advanced English course, which is the last module of the course. So this is the last week of the intermediate English course. So for that reason, I decided to put together like a summary of the 15 and 16th unit of the interchange book 1. So tonight we're going to see a summary of the two last unit, and it's going to be easy, and it's going to be even better because they are somewhat related. Okay, the topics are somewhat related. So tonight we will review four different grammars, but because they're related, it's going to be really easy to get to understand. Um, okay, so we need to add to that for this week you will have the last verb review of the regular verbs as well. When we start next week, the advanced course, you are going to work with other topics. You still will have reviews, but the reviews are going to be of English idioms and phrasal verbs. Don't worry, I will give you a list before the course begins, the module starts. You will have a list with all the English idioms and with all the phrasal verbs that we are going to use. And we are going to follow a similar method that we followed with the verb review. With the verb review. Um, Something else, well, I will explain a little bit of this in our next class, is that for the advanced English course, the tests are going to be different and the classes are going to change a little, especially the practices on the platform, because they're going to be tougher. Okay, they're going to be tougher. You will have, as I have been saying, you will have audios um, in your practices. You will have reading in your practices, and still you will have a timer to finish those practices. Okay. On Thursday, I will let you know about something that I think you will have to do before you pass from the intermediate English course to the advanced English course. But I will let you know. I will let you know. If we don't do it for the end of the intermediate English course, we're gonna do it at the beginning of the advanced English course. It's a recording project. Well, you will have to do something on camera, and you will have to upload that on YouTube and share the link so we can all see and, in my case, evaluate your performance With that being said, let's start with tonight's class, okay? So the practice, something else. This is the last thing. So the practice that you are going to have on the platform tonight, it's based on tonight's topics, okay? So in that practice, you will have the 2 units. So instead of having 2 practices, one practice for unit 15 and one practice for unit 16, you will have one practice for both, okay? One practice for both of them. Okay, now, with that being said, let's begin. Okay, so this week's review is about the last pronunciation ending sound of the regular verbs, right? As I've been explaining all of these weeks, the regular verbs have different ending sounds. We worked with the it sound. Last week, we worked with the T sound. And for this last week, we're going to work with the D sound. Okay? So, this last verb review is going to include all of these verbs, all of this. So as you can see, we have D sound for all of these verbs. For example, answer, answered, arrive, arrived, belong, belonged, change, changed, and so on. Okay? Clean, cleaned, close, closed. You have a D sound at the end. Okay? So this is the last verb review. And with this, we will have finished what we started at the beginning of the intermediate English course. So that's a good news, right? That's good news. Okay, so let's begin with tonight's class. What are you doing later? That's the title of the unit number 15. Here we have how to decline an invitation politely. One of the hardest things to do is to decline an invitation. Because when someone invites us to a place, that person is interested that we go. And to say no can be harsh, can be painful. And we don't want that, especially if that person is important to us. We don't want that person to feel bad because we are declining an invitation. So in English, as well as in Spanish, we have different ways of declining that invitation politely. Here we have a couple of examples. For example, or for instance, to thank your friend, you can say, in this case, you are thanking a friend, right? Let's say that you are accepting the invitation. So if you are accepting the invitation, you can say something like this. Thanks so much for asking me. It sounds like a lot of fun. This is you accepting the invitation. Or thanks so much for the invite. This is also correct in English. Here you are accepting. Another thing is when you are apologizing and explaining why you can't accept. Okay, so in these cases, you are explaining why you can't accept the invitation. Why? Sorry, but I already have plans. Sorry, but I have something else going on that day. Or I'm so sorry, but I can't make it. I'm really busy these days. The other one is to offer another time to do something together. Okay? So in this, you are not declining. You are more like rescheduling the activity because you're not saying no. You're saying now I can't, but later I can. So this week is crazy, but let's shoot for next week. Maybe another time. I'm free next week. Can I take a rain check? Can I take a rain check? Rain check has nothing to do with a check and has nothing to do with raining. Rain check is an expression that we use in English when we want to say to the other person in a short, um, a small, in a short and a small way that we can now, but later we can. So Americans say, "Can I give you a rain check? Can I take a rain check? Rain check." You hear that expression a lot in movies and in series. Okay? You hear that expression a lot in movies and series because sometimes we don't have the time to meet or to be with that person when that person is inviting us, but we want to, just that we can't at the moment. So we say, "Can I take a rain check?" So the person understands when you say that in English that you can't now, but later you will. Okay? So you want to meet with that person. It's not an excuse. You can't now, but you will meet with that person. That is the meaning of a rain check. Not now, but yes, later or next week. Because sometimes we just can't, right? Meet with someone due to work, due to family problems or family issues, or some appointments that we have with the doctor. Many things can impede that we meet with someone. So for those situations, we can say, "Can I take a rain check?" Rain check. Okay, it's an expression in English. Rain check. Okay, so with that being said, let's read this conversation. This is one of the two conversations that we have for tonight where you will participate. So, who wants to begin with the reading? Okay, Joangel. Thank you, Joangel. Joangel is sick, but he's willing to practice tonight. We appreciate that very much. Who else is going to read? Angela. Okay, so Joangel is Mike and Angela is going to read Alicia's part. Angela, your microphone is off, Angela. If you are talking to us, we can't hear you.
All right, excuse me, teacher. The internet is very bad. Can you repeat me, please, teacher?
You are going to read Alicia.
All right, all right. Hey, Mike, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to go see the new photo exhibit?
And thanks so much for asking me. But I can. I'm going to have dinner with my parents. Are
Oh, well, maybe some other time.
you doing anything tomorrow? We could going then.
Tomorrow, some fun. I have class on the board.
So let's go around 5.
Okay, over what? Maybe we can get some dinner.
Sound great.
Okay, okay, well done. So remember that this one is asking me. This one is, where is it? Afterward, afterward. What else? Okay, that was it. So asking me. Let's continue with Nidia and Camila. Nidia, Alicia, and Camila, Mike.
Okay. Hey, Mike, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to go see the new photo exhibit?
Thanks so, so much for asking me, but I can't. I'm going to have dinner with my parents.
Oh, well, maybe. So other time.
Are you doing anything tomorrow? We can't go then.
Tomorrow sound fine. I have class until 4.
So let's go around fine.
Okay, at forward. Maybe we can get some dinner.
Sound great.
Okay, sounds great. Well done. Okay, so Joanny Hill is someone else is going to read. Is someone else going to read? No. So of the one who have read, who wants to read with Joanny, please? Okay, Angela. Thank you, Angela. So, Angela, now you are going to read Mike's part and Joanny Hill, Alicia. Let's go.
Okay. Hey, Mike, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to go see the new photo exhibit?
Thanks. Thanks so much for asking me. But I can't. I am going to have dinner with my parents.
Oh, well, maybe some other time.
Oh, are you doing anything tomorrow? We could go.
Tomorrow sounds fine. I have class until 4.
So let's go around 5.
Okay, afterward, maybe we can get some dinner.
So great. Great.
Okay, well done. So, hey, Mike, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to go see the new photo exhibit? Thanks so much for asking me, but I can't. I'm going to have dinner with my parents. Oh, well, maybe some other time. Are you doing anything tomorrow? We could go then. Tomorrow sounds fine. I have a class. I have class until 4. So let's go around 5. Okay. Afterward, maybe we can get some dinner. Sounds great. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the first topic is about present continuous and be going to. Okay, present continuous and be going to, and some time expressions that are important. So let's start with the basics. Here we have 2 sentences, right? Who can tell me what is the difference between sentence number 1 and sentence number 2? What is the difference between I am going to a party and I am going to see a play? Which sentence is in present continuous and which sentence is using going to? This going to.
Teacher, please repeat.
Okay, so here we have two sentences, right? I am going to a party and I am going to see a play. One of these sentences is in present continuous, and the other is using going to in the future tense. Which one is in present continuous and which one is using going to in the future tense? Tell me, Joangel.
I am think the present continuous is I going to see a play.
Okay.
And another sentence is the use going to.
Okay, so Joangel believes that number two is in present continuous and number one is going to the structure for the future tense. Tell me, Joanny, do you agree with Joangel? What's your take?
I'm not agree because I think that present continuous is the first one. I am going to a party because I am going. I am walking to a party, walking right now to go there. And I'm going to see a play is more or less in the future. I am going to see play. I am going to see play maybe tomorrow, maybe later, but not right now.
Okay. Okay. So let's see who's right. Before that, okay, there is a common mistake when we are using agree in English. So normally non-native speakers tend to say I am agree, right? But remember that the correct structure is I agree. I agree without the verb to be. Okay? I agree. And if you don't agree, you say I don't agree. Okay? I don't. Because we are using this sentence in present simple, but agree is not a verb that we use normally with ing. Okay, we normally only say agree because it's an stative verb, I think, if I'm recalling correctly. But either way, we normally don't say I am agreeing. We only say I agree or I don't agree. Okay, so don't forget that. So let's get back to our discussion with this. Let's get back to our discussion. Tell me, Joanny.
Let me see if I understood. The correct form is I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Okay. If it is affirmative, is I agree.
I agree. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, so the first sentence is in present continuous, guys. Present continuous. Why? I will explain why in a moment. I am going to a party. If you see these two sentences closely, if you look at this sentence closely, you will see that they are pretty similar. The same subject, the same verb to be, the same going, the same to. Exactly the same, right? What changes happens after the to? Okay? So we can identify a present continuous sentence using going to because after the to, we don't have a verb. We have a place. I am going to a party. A party is an activity. It's not a verb. Okay? But when we have the going to that we normally use for the future, after the to, we have a verb. I am going to see See is a verb. It's an irregular verb. See. I'm going to see a play. So that's how I can identify a sentence that is in present continuous using going to, and a sentence that is in the future using going to as well. Because after the to, the going to sentence uses a verb, while the other one uses a place or an activity. Okay? Don't forget that. So now, let's continue. The architecture of English. Okay? Okay. So, pretty easy, guys. Two paths to the future. Two paths to the future. English uses different structures depending on how certain or how planned a future event is. We don't just state the time, we state the level of preparation. This is key here. This is key. Okay? We state the level of preparation. So, sometimes we have everything arranged, and sometimes we only have the intentions. There's a difference, right? So when everything is arranged, you know exactly which days you are going to go, you bought the tickets. But when you have the intention of going, none of this has happened. Probably. Okay, so we can use present continuous for a future action. We can use the present continuous for a future action. And when we use it, it's because we want to state that we have arranged everything for that activity. Let's look at this closely. So the key idea, this is the word I was using before, key. The key idea is this. It is already organized, fixed arrangements, or scheduled plans. Okay? Examples. Let's see. I'm meeting my friend tomorrow. This means that this action is in the future, right? And I am meeting my friend for sure tomorrow, which means that he knows about the meeting. We know the place we're going to meet. Everything is fixed. Everything is arranged. We're having dinner tonight. She is visiting her grandmother on Friday. So all of these sentences are in the future. So why do we need to use present continuous if we have going to? Because going to only expresses intentions, whereas present continuous expresses arrangements. Okay? So, another question. How is it that now we're using present continuous for the future when we normally use present continuous for an activity that is happening? We normally use present continuous for an activity that is happening right now. So how is it that we can also use it for the future? Easy, guys. When I have a present continuous sentence like this one, and at the end, I have a time reference in the future, like tomorrow, like tonight, or on Friday, automatically the sentence goes from present continuous, an activity that I'm doing at the moment, to present continuous for a future activity. The only thing that changes is the ending part. Because in this case, we add a time reference of the future. If I do this, I'm meeting a friend. Until here, friend, this sentence is in present continuous. So if I say I'm meeting my friend, it means until friend, right? That action is happening right now. But as soon as I add tomorrow, the meaning of the sentence changes completely. Now I am talking about an activity in the future. Is that clear? Yes? Any questions? Any doubts? Okay. Simple, right? So that's the idea with the present continuous for the future. Okay, so now we have going to. This is the verb that we normally use when we are speaking in English. But remember that in English, the future tenses are not only about the future, but also about provision, how ready you are for that action. Okay, so in the case of going to, the key idea is I have decided. Okay, future plans, intentions, or predictions with evidence. That means that I made a decision. Okay, I made a decision. It was not a decision that I took at the moment. It was not a decision that I took at the moment. It was a decision that I took in the past. But I only have the intention. It is not arranged. It is not fixed. For example, I'm going to study medicine. That is my plan. That's only what it is, a plan. They're going to travel next week. That is also a plan. We can also use going to for prediction. Look at those clouds. It's going to rain. So we can use going to make a prediction when we have evidence. Right? When we look at the clouds, a las nubes, ¿verdad? We can infer, deduce if it is going to rain or not by the look of the clouds. When they are dark, we know that probably it's going to rain because they're really dark. But when we see those white clouds in that clear blue sky, we know that it won't rain, right? So we can make a prediction based on that evidence. So we use going to for that too. Okay? So that's practically the difference. It's about the intention. So present continuous, something that is already arranged. I'm meeting John tomorrow. Going to is only the intention. I'm going to meet John someday. He doesn't know which day he's going to meet John. Someday could be any day, in a week, in a month, in a year, in 10 years. But tomorrow is pretty specific. It's tomorrow, right? So this means in this structure that this action is arranged. It is fixed. That's it. That's the difference between going to and present continuous. We will see this again in the advanced English course. Okay, we will see it again. So is that clear? Did you get it, the difference between present continuous for the future and going to for the future? It's about how prepared you are for a plan. Okay, we know the difference. In Spanish, we know the difference as well. Okay, so here are the first exercises. This is pretty simple. Here, we're going to fill these exercises. We're going to complete these exercises, column A, with present continuous. All of them. And this column B, we're going to complete these exercises with going to. That's it. Present continuous here in all of these sentences. Going to here in all of these sentences. Okay, let's continue. Number 2. Here we have to read Joe's calendar and write about his plans for each day. Use be going to. So here we're going to read Joe's calendar and we are going to arrange this calendar, or we're going to put these actions into sentences using going to. For example, we see here Sunday, 4, afternoon play tennis with Brock. So on Sunday afternoon, because we know here there is afternoon and that is Sunday, on Sunday afternoon, Joe is going to play tennis with Brock. So the same thing with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? Again, more exercises. Here, only using going to. Easy peasy, only going to. You have the verb in parentheses. You are going to and the verb. Base form is practically done already. This one is to choose the correct responses. You know how this goes. You have to choose one of the 3 responses. Which one do you think fits best? That's it. Okay, so that is the first topic. Let's continue with our second topic. We have 2 interesting verbs in English. We have tell and we have ask. Students confuse these constantly. The key is understanding the goal of your sentence. What is the goal of your sentence? So, easy guys. We use tell to give information. We use ask to request something. Tell to give information. Ask to request something. Let's start with tell. Think. Tell, information. The structure, simple. Tell, person, statement. Let's see some examples. Tell, the verb, right? Him, the person, right? Tell him, I'm busy. Tell her, her is the person, right? I can't come. Could you tell him I called? Remember that in a previous class, long time ago, we discussed object pronouns. You remember? I hope you remember. The object pronouns, which are the pronouns that we use after a verb. When the object of a verb is a person, we use a object pronoun. We have him, her, us, them. I'm missing one. Me. It's. Well, yeah, it. I love that with it. So we have me, you, him, her, us, them. Those are the object pronouns. So when we are using the verb tell, we need the person, right? Because we're telling someone. So tell me, what are you thinking? Tell me, tell, right? Tell me, tell you, tell him, tell her, tell us, tell them. So that is the way we structure a sentence using tell. We use tell to give information. For example, I can say, Joanny, please tell Nidia to come to class. Or Angela, please tell Camila to stop talking. Or please, Nidia, tell Joanny to do the dishes. or to clean the house. Tell Giovanni. You can use the name of the person or you can use the object pronoun. Okay? That's the way we use tell in English. Okay? We also have ask. Ask. We use ask to request something. Okay? The structure is different. We can't forget this, guys. Ask, the person, and the verb with the preposition to. Examples. Ask her to call me. Ask him to open the door. Could you ask her to help me? So as you can see, there's a difference between tell and ask. They are similar because after the verb we have the person, but in the case of ask, we have a to, the preposition to, followed by the verb in its base form. So, more examples. Please tell Joanny to come to class. Please, Angela, ask Camilla to pay me my money. Right? These are only examples, okay? Only examples. Okay? Nidia, please ask Angela to turn on her camera. Okay? So as you can see, I say ask Angela to and the verb. Ask Nidia to and the verb. But in the case of tell, I only say tell her I am waiting. You see, I don't need to when I use tell because they're different. They are different verbs. Tell me, Angela.
Yes, teacher. These are examples or they are different.
No, they're not true. They're just examples.
All right.
They're examples. The examples. Okay? Only examples. I'm just giving you ideas so you can understand what I'm trying to say without translating in Spanish, okay? Is the topic clear? Are we good? Easy peasy? Okay, okay. Let's continue. Tell me, Joanny.
Teacher, you repeat easy peasy, but I don't know what is its meaning.
Easy peasy is like super fácil.
Oh, easy peasy.
Yeah, easy
Busy,
peasy.
busy es como ocupado.
No, porque no es easy busy, sino easy peasy.
Ah, busy.
Yes, let me see if I can send it to you or to the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm gonna send it right now.
Okay, thanks.
Easy peasy. I always use it because the idea is that you see this as something really simple, you know, algo muy fácil, no como algo complicado. Okay, easy peasy. I always say the same phrase. Easy peasy. Okay, so let's continue. So for this class or for this grammar, you only have one exercise. Only one. Pretty simple. Only one. Easy peasy. So here you have to unscramble these messages. So as you can see, you have every element that you need right here, but you need to arrange this properly. So you're going to use the rule that I just taught you to do this, okay? Let's continue. Okay, so now we're going to discuss our third grammar focus, okay? It belongs to unit number 16. So unit number 16 is about how have you changed? It's about change. Okay? We know that we experience life-changing experiences. Okay? We experience that. Like, for example, when you change schools, when you move to a new house, when you turn 18, when you get a driver's license, when you graduate from college, get a job, move to a new city, travel abroad, fall in love, get married, have children, retire, all of these are changes. And we experience these changes through our lifetime. Okay? We experience these changes through our lifetime. Okay? So here we have different ways that we can use to express change. For example, we can use the past simple, right, to express change. I graduated in 2020, that's a change. I moved last year, that's a change. I got married, that is also a change. We use this, the past simple, for finished actions, okay? Completed actions in the past. We can also use present tense for current situations. For example, I wear glasses now. If I say I wear glasses now, it's because before I didn't wear them, right? If I say I am working now, it's because before I wasn't working. So it is a change, right? Something changed. I work at a bank now. If you are working at a bank now, it's because before you didn't. I live in Santo Domingo now. Well, if you live in Santo Domingo now, it's because before you didn't. Maybe you lived in San Cristobal, or you lived in Bani. But now, at the present, at the moment, you live in Santo Domingo. So we can also use the present simple for or to express change. We also have the present perfect. Oh, Siri wants to join our class. Okay, so we can also use present perfect, which is the bridge. Remember that present perfect is a bridge that connects the past and the present. Remember that the key idea of the present perfect is to talk about a recent change or experiences connected to now. Like, for example, I've started a new job. If you started a new job, it's because that job wasn't there in the past. But now you are in that job. So something changed. She's bought a new car. This is the contraction of has. She's bought a new car. If she has bought a new car, it's because before she didn't have one. So this also expresses change. They moved to a new city. If they've moved to a new city, it's because they used to live somewhere else. So this also expresses change. The idea with these guys is that we can talk about change in English as in Spanish by with a sentence in past simple, with a sentence in present simple, or with a sentence in present perfect. The idea is that all of those sentences are expressing change. Okay? They are expressing change. That something is different now. If you say, I got married, something changed, right? You used to be, how can I say this? It's no bachelor. You used to be single, right? Single es soltero, sorry. Soltero. You used to be single, but now you're married. Something changed. You see, that's the idea. So it's not about tenses. It's about change. All the ways that you can express change in English. That's the idea. Okay, we can also express change with comparatives. This is for me the most curious part of this lesson because we don't expect this, right? But let's look at this. For example, my hair is longer now. Well, if your hair is longer now, it's because before it wasn't, right? Because it's now longer. Another example, this city is more crowded. If the city is more crowded, it's because before it was not as populated as it is now. So now we have more people, but before we didn't have so many people. My apartment is smaller than my old one. So if this apartment is smaller, it's because the other one was bigger, right? If we say that life, right? Life is more expensive now, is because before it wasn't that expensive. We can say that gasoline is more expensive now, right? 1 gallon of gasoline costs around 330 pesos. 330 pesos, right? That's a lot of money. I remember that in the past, 1 gallon of gasoline costed like 200 pesos, 210. And at that time, it was a lot of money. But now we're paying 330 pesos or something like that for a gallon of gasoline. So if I say that gasoline is more expensive now, I am talking about a change because before it wasn't that expensive. And that is true. 2 months ago, gasoline was under 300 pesos. 2 months later, it's over 300 pesos. So something changed. Okay? Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your thumbs up. Okay. Okay, so our last topic. So before our last topic, before we talked or discuss our last topic, here we have some exercises. Okay? Again, here you have to choose one sentence. You have 3 options. This is about change, okay? This is about change. Here, you have to complete this sentence, use the information in the box in the present perfect tense. So as you can see, these expressions are in the base form, okay? So the verbs are in its base form. So you have to use the present perfect to change this sentence into present perfect tense and then use it to answer this. Only 3 options. Pretty easy. Okay, this is interesting. Here you have to rewrite these sentences by using the words in parentheses, okay? So here again, we're talking about change. For example, I've grown out my hair. I have to say the same thing. But using longer. That's easy. My hair is longer now. So the same thing with the other words that we have in parentheses. Okay? Let's continue. This right here is a word power that will be in your practice, in your last practice. So you have to look for the meaning of the words here that you don't know. Here we have dye my hair. Women do this a lot. Get a bank loan, get a credit card, get a pay raise, grow a beard, improve my English vocabulary, learn a new sport, learn how to dance, open a savings account, pierce my ears, start a new online course, and wear contact lenses. I decided to leave this word power here because you need this. Okay, this is basic stuff. Okay, the last grammar. This is short. Okay, so we have been talking about going to present continuous for the future, but there's something else. some verbs in English by themselves have a future intention. They don't need going to, they don't need present continuous for the future, they don't need will, they don't need shall, they don't need anyone because by themselves they are about the future. For example, plan, the verb to plan. Okay, I don't need to say I am going to plan. I can only say I plan to visit my mother. When I use plan, everyone understands that that is in the future. I plan to visit my mother. I want to buy a car. We don't say I will want or I am going to want, right? Because want is already about something that I don't have and I want. So it is somehow in the future. I want, for example, I want a car or I want a house. I want. If I want a house, it's because I don't have one. If I want a car, it's because I don't have one. Or maybe I have one, but I want another one. But the idea is that I don't have it and I want it. Okay? So those verbs, I can use them in their base form and they talk about a future action without the need of going to or will or present continuous for the future. That's the main idea of this. So, for example, we have here the verb plan, want, hope, I'd like, and I'd love. If you look at the first sentence, which is a question, what are you going to do this year? That is the question, right? Look at all the possibilities that you have to answer that question. The first one is using going to, right? I'm going to take a trip to the Caribbean. Excellent. I'm going to take. Or I'm not going to take if it is negative. But look at the other answers. I plan to take. I want to learn. Remember, the question is about the future, right? And here I have plan, want, and hope without going to. Because these verbs are already about something in the future. I don't need to use the auxiliary. As you can see, these verbs articulate with another verb. I plan to take. I want to learn. I hope to get. You see? So when you say I plan to take, you are articulating plan with take. Or want to learn, you are linking want with learn. So these verbs don't need going to. Remember, plan, want, and hope. Those are the verbs. Okay? So as you can see here, we have the linking actions with the to, right? I plan to study. I hope to travel. I'd like to learn French because we also use this to with a contraction of I would. I'd like. I'd love to play. I want to improve. So these verbs are normally followed by a preposition to and the base form of the following verb. More examples: want to, plan to, hope to, decide to, need to, again decide to, need to again, would like to, would love to, right? For example, I want to learn English. She plans to study medicine. We hope to visit. Again, we see a verb like this with another verb. Want with another verb. Hope with another verb. Things that you need to remember. I want to study English. It is wrong. You need to. I want to study English. I hope travel next year. It is wrong. I hope to travel next year. You need to when you have these verbs. That's it. That's it. So let me give you your last exercises. Okay, so you have two exercises with these verbs. Number 6 here. Here you have to choose one of the verbs here and place it in the blank spaces. Here you have to work with that structure. This is the most important one for this given topic. Want and get, like and save, like and go. Remember, here you are not going to use going to, right? Okay, we're going to use only what we have in parentheses. So these verbs. Okay, if you find an exception, it's okay. Okay, use your intuition, because I think, if I remember correctly, that every sentence here, every exercise is like that, but I can't guarantee that. So use your intuition and what you know so far, in case there is one that I forgot or leave out or left out in this case. Okay, so only one listening. This is an interesting listening. I'm going to be late. So in this listening, you have to identify 3 persons. Who is the message from? Who is it for? What is the message? Y voy a hacer un paréntesis en español con este ejercicio. Este curso, ¿verdad? Yo lo he impartido, tengo que estar por encima de, creo que tengo que estar ya casi por encima de las 10 veces. Y este audio se ha hecho bien por los participantes una sola vez. Una sola estudiante. Ese audio. La persona que lo acertó, porque siempre acertaban 3, acertaban 2, un estudiante. Y voy a lanzar el reto aquí también. Vamos a ver si de este grupo sale, si todos o uno, no sé, lo resuelve. Fue del grupo, terminó hace como un mes, y así mismo. Yo le dije, lo reté a todos y ella lo asumió y lo hizo perfecto. Es decir, no se equivocó en ninguna. Y fue la primera estudiante en todo el tiempo que tengo haciendo el audio, los listenings de este libro, que lo hace todos bien. Entonces, yo creo que aquí también lo pueden hacer. Así que ahí está el reto. Lo que hay que escuchar muy, muy bien. Ok, chicos. Okay. So, that's it. Yeah. So before we leave, let's read this conversation, and that's it. We will be done for the night. Okay. So there you have a summary of 2 units, because this is the last week of the intermediate English course, and we need to finish every unit from the book. Okay, we can't leave anything out. So I managed to bring all of that together. I hope you felt good with all of this information. You know that this video will be available, so you can review it as many times as you want. So before we leave, let's read this conversation. Here we have 4 participants. So Joanny and Angela, and then Camila and Nidia, and that's it. So Joanny and Angela, Joanny, you're going to read Caitlin's part, and Angela, you're going to read Jake's part.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Kathleen. It's Jake. Are you busy?
No. I am having coffee with Brittany. Where are you? Class is going to start soon.
That's the problem. I don't think I am going to make it tonight.
Why not? What's the matter?
My bus is stuck in traffic. Nobody is moving.
Oh no! What are you going to do?
I don't know. Could you tell me, Miss Eaton, that I'm going to miss class?
No problem. I'll give him the message.
Oh, and could you ask Brittany to take pictures of the whiteboard for me?
Sure, but I can take the pictures.
Then, do the last time you took a picture of the board, or I could see was the one.
And that, excuse me.
That's good when the students laugh of the jokes of the conversation. I like that. That means that you got it. Okay, let's continue with Camila and Nidia. So Camila, you are going to read Kaylin's part and Nidia Jake's part, and we will be done.
Okay. Hello?
Hi, Caitlin. Is Hake, are you busy?
No, I'm having coffee with Brittany. Okay. Where are you? Where are you? Class is going to a short soon.
That's the problem. I don't think I'm going to make it tonight.
Mhm. Why not? What's the matter? Matter.
What's the matter?
Matter. Okay.
My boss is stuck in tariff and nobody is moving.
Okay.
Okay, nobody's moving.
Culture.
Caitlin, are you there, Caitlin? Oh no, what are you going to do?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh no. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Could you tell Mr. Ayton they are going to miss my miss class?
No problem. I give him the message.
Oh, and could you ask Brainy to take picture of their wordboard for me?
Sure, but I can take the pictures.
Thames. But the last time you took a picture of their board, I, I called see was they wall.
Okay, well done. So I'm gonna read this one more time. Hello. Hi, Caitlin. It's Jake. Are you busy? No, I'm having coffee with Brittany. Where are you? Class is going to start soon. That's the problem. I don't think I'm going to make it tonight. Why not? What's the matter? My boss is stuck in traffic. Nobody's moving. Remember this, Joanny? This is heavy traffic. Oh no! What are you going to do? Sorry, traffic jam. Sorry, traffic jam. Oh no, what are you going to do? I don't know. Could you tell Mr. Eden that I'm going to miss class? No problem. I'll give him the message. Oh, and could you ask Brittany to take pictures of the whiteboard for me? Sure, but I can take the pictures. Thanks. But the last time you took a picture of the board, all I could see was the wall. I imagine that he said that in that tone. Okay. Okay, guys. So that will be all for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this class as much as I did. And see you again on Thursday at 8 p.m. with everything. Goodbye. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, teacher.
Bye
Great,
bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.